Derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derp.
Octopus Prime with another episode of the Cooter Report for the Skeptic Fence Show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna bag me some horn kickers tonight.
Let's see who we have this week.
Right now, there are a lot of believers all over the country who are rejoicing, I guess, in the Supreme Court's decision of 5-4 to allow the continuation of prayer before public gatherings and governmental hearings. 5-4. I would be happy if it was 8-1, because then we would know that we had one liberal judge that we needed to get rid of.
So far, I'm not very impressed by your line of reasoning here. You say that you're not happy that it was 5-4. You'd be happy if it was 8-1, because then you'd know the one judge. Well, you know the four judges, you moron. You know the four judges that you want to have removed so that you could just have your theocracy here. I don't understand why, and if it was 8-1, you'd just remove it. You'd be happy if it was 8-1, and then you'd remove the one so that it would be 9-0. Because that's the kind of Supreme Court this motherfucker wants. They're just like, what? Is it something stupidly, fundamentally Christian? Yeah? Okay, 9-0. Christians win every time. That's the kind of world this dipshit wants to live in.
But what we have at 5-4 is one more appointment, and it goes the other way. And prayer is now gone.
Is his audience so fucking blah, 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 that he has to explain this shit to them? Like, if you win something 5-4, and then one of the votes went the other way, you would have lost 5-4. Holy shit, what a concept. Let me make sure to explain this to the people that are out there who the fuck is watching this shit? And who is wiping the drool off of those people's fucking chins? As for prayer being gone, it doesn't happen like that. Nobody can stop you from praying, no matter what. They can lock you in a tiny cell. You can still pray. You still won. You won this shit. And you're still complaining. Not good enough. I won, but I didn't win by a fucking 9-0 vote. And you know what? We don't spend 5 hours every day praying before every fucking thing we do. Not good enough. Go fuck yourself.
That's not something that we celebrate in victory. That ought to be something that causes us to be chilled to the bone to consider that it's even a consideration for a Supreme Court decision.
And what exactly is it that you think that the Supreme Court is there to decide? You're like, these things shouldn't even be up for decision, but that's what the fucking point of the Supreme Court is for, is to decide on things that we have a really hard time deciding. You are just as extreme in favor of prayer as the people you claim out there are against prayer. You do realize that, right? The things that you think shouldn't even have to be decided, I'm the same way. It shouldn't even have to be talked about. You don't fucking pray in public meetings. You pray in private. That's what your own Bible fucking teaches you. And I didn't add that long, awkward pause at the end. That wasn't me. That's this guy. This guy's just like, huh? What? I don't even get it. What? Here, watch the pause. This is epic.
It's absolute nonsense for us to be debating the value of prayer.
Agreed.
It's absolute nonsense for us to be debating the definition of a marriage.
That would be you guys getting your panties in a twist about, this is our thing. Marriage is nothing. No one else gets married but Christians. That's your own your panties getting twisted up.
It's absolute nonsense for us to be considering, when does life begin, when even science and technology tell us repeatedly that it begins in the womb, where there is a heartbeat and there is blood flow and there are fingers and eyes and ears and toes.
What's not absolute nonsense about that issue is the women's rights. You understand? You have to have exceptions to the rule. If you have the technology to perform an abortion and a woman gets raped, let's say, you're gonna say you're gonna make her carry that child to term. Now, this moron might, but in most people wouldn't want that to happen to someone. So now you're creating like a scenario where it's okay. So then the question becomes, what other reasons are okay to have an abortion? And there turns out there's a lot of reasons that women feel are okay in order to get an abortion, including not being able to financially raise it, health issues, genetic issues. Who knows? There's a lot of fucking reasons is the point. But he doesn't want to even discuss it. No. Sperm is life. You're a fucking moron.
Yet rather than become intrusive enough to make sure that our faith is established in our culture, we have allowed those who are wanting to secularize the world to become violent with people of faith.
What? What? When have we, the secularists of the world, when have we been violent against those of faith? Like, are you saying that by even considering, by even putting it to the Supreme Court, whether we should have prayer to open public meetings or not, that's being violent towards you and the faithful? Are you fucking kidding me? You can try and impose your religion and your theocracy through the government, and to you, we're being violent to you when we say no thanks. But here's the real interesting part. Matthew Hagee, what do you think the religious people should do in order to gain the upper hand? Let's hear.
There is a value in spiritual violence, and it is time that you considered the role that you're playing or not playing, and whether or not it's time for you to become more aggressive in your beliefs.
And so his answer is to become spiritually violent, whatever the fuck that means, and become more aggressive in your beliefs. Because obviously the best solution is not to compromise in any way, but to just become, further and further apart. We don't agree with you about the prayer thing. So instead of it being a 5-4 decision where they win, they want it to be 8-1 and then 9-0. And then why did we even talk about this? It's obvious we should fucking pray constantly. And then how do we, react to people we claim are being violent to us? Well, we get spiritually violent with them. Again, I have no fucking clue what that means, but it's for saying such stupid shit. That Matthew Hagee, you win the Cooter Award for being the dumbest horn kicker I could find this week. See you guys next time.
Cooter!
Derp